Hi there, welcome back to All Up in Your Business. I'm attorney Aiden Durham with 180 Law Co. in Colorado, and today we're going to talk about using virtual offices for your business and a few of the things you can and can't do with a virtual office. Before we get into all of that, if you are new to All Up in Your Business, welcome. Please subscribe if you haven't already. You can click that little bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video, and check the description for links to additional information and resources. And while I am a lawyer, I am not your lawyer. The stuff I talk about in my videos shouldn't be taken as a substitute for actual legal advice. If you need help with any legal situation, you should consult with a lawyer who's licensed in your state. So let's start off by talking about what is a virtual office or a virtual address. It is a real street address, so like not a P.O. box, that you can use as your business address or mailing address without being actually physically present at that location. And when it comes to virtual offices, in my opinion at least, it really doesn't get much better than Alliance Virtual Offices. Alliance is on a mission to help modern businesses scale faster. With over 1,200 locations worldwide, they offer flexible workplace solutions to help remote companies and home-based professionals thrive. But Alliance doesn't just stop at virtual offices. They also offer virtual phone numbers and live receptionist service, plus options for meeting spaces and co-working spaces. And if you use my affiliate link down in the description, you can save 50% on the setup fee for a new virtual office by using the promo code GO180LawCo at checkout. Now, if you're watching this currently in real time in May of 2023, you may notice that promo code isn't going to work for you. That's because Alliance has their own special promo going on right now that's going to save you even more money than what you'll get with my promo code. So if that code isn't working for you, don't worry, you're still going to get a really great deal. But outside of that, you can use the code GO180LawCo to save 50% on the setup fee. So check the description for that affiliate link, and thank you to Alliance Virtual Offices. If you're looking around researching virtual offices, you may also come across the term virtual mailbox. And you may think to yourself, well, what's the difference between a virtual office and a virtual mailbox? A virtual mailbox is exactly what it sounds like. It's a mailing address that you can use. They will receive your mail on your behalf, and usually they'll forward it to you or scan it to you so you can get it digitally. Virtual mailboxes are usually tailored more towards individuals, whereas virtual offices are typically meant for businesses and professionals. A virtual office is usually going to give you all of the benefits of a virtual mailbox, but a lot more. You might have access to conference rooms, meeting spaces, shared office space, maybe even a dedicated office space, and again, receptionist service, and maybe virtual phone numbers like you can get with Alliance. And these virtual offices, they usually have locations all over the US or all over the world, so you can take advantage of your services regardless of where you are in the world. So when might you want to take advantage of a virtual office or a virtual office address? Maybe if you are starting an LLC or a corporation and you don't want to use your home address or maybe your office address as the principal office address or as the main business address for your LLC or your corporation. Because when we're filing that paperwork to start our company, the articles of organization or the articles of incorporation, we're going to have to provide the principal office address or the principal place of business, and that's going to be publicly available. So if you're working from home, you may not want your home address to be publicly available. That's when a virtual office address is going to come in really handy. Or maybe you already have a business, but you're expanding into a different state and you don't already have a physical presence in that state. You can use a virtual office to now have an address in the new states that you're going to be working in or expanding your business into. Or maybe you want the benefits of a real office space, like meeting spaces, conference rooms, a quiet place to work, maybe away from the distractions and noise at home, or a friendly receptionist to greet your guests if you're meeting with clients in the office. You can get all of that with a virtual office without having to commit to a real serious commercial office lease that might lock you in for a long time. If you are in the position where you're just starting your LLC or your corporation and you don't want to use your home address or something, many states aren't going to allow you to use a PO box as your principal office address. And even if you can use a PO box, it doesn't always look all that professional to have a PO box as your business address. So with a virtual office, like what you can get through Alliance Virtual Offices, you get the benefits of a professional physical address while still getting to work from the comfort of your home in your PJs if you want to. You also get the benefit of having a permanent address. If you move or if you move your office, you don't have to change your business address. I'll give you a little personal story. I've moved my home to a lot in the past few years. I've also had offices here and there throughout my business's lifetime. I work from home now, but in the past I've had different offices, and I've moved offices quite a few times. And I'll tell you, it's a real pain in the ass to have to change my letterhead, change my business cards, change my address on everything, let everybody know here's the new address to send things to. It's a real pain. So by using a virtual office address instead, you can move your actual business location without having to change the public-facing address that you use for your business. So what are a few things you can and can't do with a virtual office address? Like I said, if you're setting up an LLC or a corporation, you can use the virtual address as your principal office address or your primary business address. You can also use the virtual office address when you apply for an EIN or a tax ID number through the IRS as well. Let's say you have an email list and you send out marketing emails to all of your mailing list subscribers. If you do that, the Can-Spam Act, the federal law, requires that we put an address on the bottom, not necessarily on the bottom, but somewhere on every marketing email. And again, if you're working from home, you may not want to use your home address on all of your marketing emails. So you can use your virtual office address there instead as well. But of course, there are some limitations. You may not be able to use a virtual office address when you're opening up a business bank account due to some federal regulations. Sometimes the bank is going to need to know your actual, like, where are you actually running this business from, and the virtual office won't be acceptable. In that case, if you're working from home, you can give the bank your home address. They'll be okay with that, and you can still use the virtual office address as your mailing address. And the bank isn't going to publicize your home address in that instance, so it's still going to stay private. But like I said, you can use the virtual office address as the mailing address. You can still put it on your checks and things like that. And then you're usually not going to be able to use the virtual office address as the registered agent for your LLC or your corporation. In that case, you might need to use a registered agent service instead because you won't be able to use the virtual office address. So by now, hopefully you know the benefits of using a virtual office address and if it's the right step for you. If you are going to take that step for your business, you should definitely consider Alliance Virtual Offices. Check them out using the affiliate link down in the description, and don't forget to use the promo code GO180LAWCO to save 50% on the setup fee for a new virtual office. That's all for this episode, folks. If you learned a thing or two, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Click that little bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video. And of course, check the description for links to additional information and resources. Now that we've talked about virtual offices, you may have some more questions about virtual offices or business addresses. Luckily for you, I made a whole video where I went through tons of your questions about virtual offices and business addresses, of course. You can check it out right here. I will meet you over there. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Aiden Durham, and I'll see you next time.